Hi everyone, my name is Darrell Brown, truly your host here at Success After Pain podcast, where recovery meets redemption. Today I will be discussing with you about how we must, as parents, we must tighten up on our kids and not allow them to make excuses, not allow them to isolate themselves. See, so many kids commit suicide today by isolation, by not realizing that family acquaintance is very important. So here's a session that I was actually getting on my son because he liked to make a lot of excuses on why he don't like to join the family as a family gathering, to politic, to socialize, to create that bond that a family needs. So stick around. Hopefully you can utilize this video when you are experiencing or facing some of the atrocity with your own kids. Thanks, and allow me to share this content with you here at Success After Pain podcast. Stay tuned. Yeah, as I was saying, we must enforce things. We must enforce things because we are his first teachers. And if we don't teach him how to get it right, then now we're allowing the system, the street, and only thing they know is kill, 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 destroy, destroy, separate, conquer and divide. See, we as the black family as a whole, and excuse me, I'm not trying to bring any sort of bias or prejudice or content to my audience, but especially the black man, woman, and child, we are the ones that's facing the most atrocities and death as we speak today in this society. So as a father that came down that path of destruction, self-destruction at that, dealing with drugs in the judicial system, the penal system, I will be less than a father not to try to redirect and channel that negative energy into a positive energy. So my son, I'm not going to embarrass him. I'm not going to bring him on camera, but you're going to see from time to time, I'm going to be illustrating some of the things that I'm trying to implement in him as a father figure that has changed and reconstruct his life. So, like I said, stay tuned and continue to watch the video. Also, remember to like, share, and subscribe at the channel. But like I was saying, baby, we are his first teachers. So we would do him a disservice by not enforcing and demanding structure. See, in order to get it right, first one must have a set of tools which stems around structure. Be respectful of your elders. Not only just your elders, but people in general. And if you run across someone that is disrespectful, you can rid yourself from that situation. It's not that you're scared. It's not that you are pussy. It's meaning that you want something out of life. Sometimes you gotta watch out for that person that may not have that intelligence or that willpower to stay from that negative side. But let's be the bigger person. I get so tired of my son always comparing himself to another child. Well, I refuse to allow him to keep doing that. Simple reason is that I'm teaching him to become a leader, not a follower. See, a follower worries about what somebody else is doing. I don't know what their parents is doing. His acquaintance, his associates that he socialized with and interact with. But he is my son. And it's my duty as a father to teach him and lead him in the right direction. I will be less than his father or just a mentor of anyone to allow him to keep using the same old cliches and negativity that he uses. Like I said, he constantly compares himself to other kids. Well, I can't control the next person's household. I can't control how you interact with your kid. But one thing I can say I control this household here. So with that being said, I got to give him leadership skills, which I do. But the kids today, they are very complacent. They want to stay stuck up in a room, stay on these electronic gadgets such as phones, tablets, etc., gaming system. Well, as a parent, we need to exercise our parenting skills a little more. Have a designated time. Allow him or her to have set times to do these things. You see what I'm saying? Because when you don't, what you allowing him or her to do is basically waste that time that is necessary to get it right. See, it's about getting it right today. It's too many deaths. It's too many high school dropouts. It's too many babies being born out of wedlock. It's too many kids having kids. So when are the parents and the grandparents are going to stand up and face the challenge that is much needed? I'm willing. Are you willing to do that and sacrifice a lot of the things in your life in order to make their life better? I am. So my wife and I, we were sitting here discussing things that we need to implement. And also, I want to allow her to share what came to her when I was really getting into, which y'all missed the majority of the footage that I was actually implementing at the time. But stay tuned. It's going to be other times that we will be setting the camera up and collecting that data, that content, so we can get it into the algorithm so you guys will be able to see it as well. But with further ado, I will allow my precious wife to share a little bit how she felt when I was actually trying to implement the change that needs to be in my son's life.
How you guys doing? My name is Taisha. And when my husband was speaking with my son, giving him constructive criticism and letting him know the right path to choose, I got in my feelings as a mother. We love to shelter our baby boys and love on our baby boys and be gentle and easy going on our baby boys. And that's not a good way, because that's going to lead them to the streets or doing things they don't have any business doing. So when my husband began speaking, it really touched me, because I'm like, you know what? This is what my son needs. He don't need me to baby him or cater to him or, make him feel, oh, it's going to be okay, daddy's being hard. No, he needs that structure. We as women, we got a leader in our life. We need to let that man lead and raise that child and be on the same accord. So ladies, please, if you got that one in your life that's trying to raise your son to be somebody, to stand up and be a man, let him do his job. Don't interrupt him. Don't feel sorry for the kid, because in the long run, the kid is going to be a better child, and they're going to appreciate that leadership so they can teach their kids, because they're going to have kids one day. They can teach their kids how to be, productive young men in this society. And that's all I have.
Thank you, baby. Exactly as she stated. When you have that king or that leader in your life, and he's leading in that productive manner, please allow him to do that, because that's what our kids need today. See, there's no leadership. The leadership that they have is not leading them in the right direction. So that's why it's so much of dysfunctional behaviors, so many different events that are taking place when it comes to death. Because that's all we know. If it's not someone on television killing someone, posting it to the internet, talking about drugs, how it makes them feel, or talking about going to the penitentiary, glorifying these things in our kids' lives, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't interest them. Well, we got to change the narrative. See, as long as we keep allowing that to raise our kids, then these are the results that we're going to get. So when are you going to take that next step at trying to reconstruct not only just you, but your child and whomever else that you can help? See, it's about giving back. See, if I don't give back what I got, I lose what I got. So in order for me to have a better society, it starts, begins, and ends with me. See, it starts right here. You see, before that kid leaves out this door, that kid needs tools to survive. And that is to be respectful. Not only to be respectful, to have enough of sense to obey, especially an adult when he or she are being asked to do something. See, the respect has left from out of the black community. That's why we are having the disrespect. That's why we glorify the things that we once looked down upon. So today is a day about change. They told me in the rooms, change I must or die I will. Simply meaning, if I don't get it right, I'm headed for doom. And that's the same thing that I'm trying to implement to my son. He got to get it right. And the next thing is this, and I'm going to close with this. It's not an option. It's not an option for me. You're going to win if I got anything to do with it. And if you can't abide by my rules, there go the door. Anytime you feel that you got this thing right, hey, hit the door. But just know this, when the consequences starts to pile up, just know that you had a dad and a mom tried their very best to give you what it takes to be successful in life. And see, one thing I must say, a lot of little kids out there, or kids, they don't have that source in their family to be that leader. But that's not your excuse, son. You got a dad that went down that road, that rocky road, and headed to the penitentiary. Almost lost my life several times behind not wanting to get it right. If you got a chance to get it right, for that person that's out there that are struggling with whatever it is, please find somebody that you can trust and tell them what's going on with you. Because a lot of times it could be an issue that you don't even realize that you have. And it's an issue. And that's the reason why you can't get it right. Find you somebody that you can trust in and tell, them what's going on with you. And they may have that working, abiding knowledge to be able to help you rectify your life and get back on the right track. Get off that wrong track. And if nobody told you they love you, I do. I love you. I love you. I love you. And always remember, this is where recovery meets redemption. Here at Success After Pain Podcast. No matter how hard your past was, your purpose can become turning pain into success. Peace, proper education, always corrects error over here at Success After Pain Podcast.